Good morning and welcome to the Backpack Trader Training Room for Thursday, December 1st, 2022. Please note the required risk disclosure. This room is for educational and informational purposes only. It is not to be considered individual financial advice. And good morning to you, Jeff. Please do say hello. That's the only way I know who's in the room. This type of trading carries considerable risk and should only be attempted with risk capital, i.e., funds that you can afford to lose. All right. This is our last session of the week. The YM has a get in sync long when the market opens at the moment. Good morning, Miles. Soybeans has gone too far, and we'll wait for a new trade there. And the YM short has just canceled. Market opens in about 2 minutes and 10 seconds. Quick look at crude. So we have the short back here. It's well before our start time. Meanders about right to our start time. Plenty of time to get in sync with that one, and unfortunately it goes for a full loss and comes up. We pick up another short, just barely triggers in. That one also goes for a full loss. If that was executable, that ends the session there. If not, you have this long trade off of the blue SMA, 20 SMA. And that meanders about and stops and reverses at 77. That would also be a second loss and the end of a session. Or if you were going ahead and taking the third trade, you do pick up targets 1 and 2 on the short. So a down day for crude. We'll hope for better things at 10 a.m. And we're now under a minute to go. Looking for the Russell is, looks like that. Yeah, the Russell just stopped out at break even on that trade. So that trade is also off the table. And the market is open. We get a new short that blew through way too fast to do anything with. The Russell also, yeah, too fast on the Russell as well. So the YM went through that short entry way too fast to catch, and we will wait for the next trade. That one was definitely not executable. So YM and soybeans both waiting for new setups. Micro Russell just stopped out, so waiting for a new setup there as well. Now, the pound Aussie. Another trade. This trade set up at 13 seconds after our start time at 8:30. Just meandered about and then finally took off through targets 1 and 2 and then comes back and stops out at a pip above target 1. So we pick up 20 and 31. for 51 pips. And then we pick up 21 on 3 additional positions for another 61. So 112 pips this morning on the pound Aussie if you're trading all positions. One and done session. That's 100. Yeah, 110, 112 pips times whatever your position size is. And the Russell, that looked like it may have taken off too fast to catch. We'd have to, I wasn't looking at that when we went through. And soybeans with a short trade. That definitely looks like it should be valid. Going back and forth through the entry before going down. Let's see if it can push down to target 1. All right, the YM with a long trade that stops and reverse to an SMA short. That's going to be at 79. And definitely in the short. That's what it looks like. And a short trade on the Russell. I'm going to assume we haven't had a trade so far. And that just triggered in. And the YM, target 1. So that is a 30 tick target, less the 4, 20, so 26 ticks. There's target 2. Hey, solid down move here. Russell getting targets 3 and 4, trailing at 99, 98, 6 now. And target 1 on soybeans. So that will be a one and done session, but we'll have to see what we get out of it. $11 ticks on target. And the Russell stopping out at 98.6. Win number 1. And the YM stopping out at 561. And we have a potential short, another potential short. That's another SMA trade. That trade is part of the diamond level package. Just like the yellow trade off the 50 EMA, it's the proximity off of the 20 SMA, simple moving average. And that just triggered in. if it's needed, and we may already be POQ. I'll have to look at the numbers and see if we got positive on that last short. Good morning, Arizona Bob. Short setup on the Russell. Has not triggered in yet. Let's take a quick look at unleaded gas. Right at 9 seconds after 9, we have a setup. Probably wasn't executable initially, but then came back and gave us a chance to get in. So picking up targets 1 and 2, or 1 and 2. That belongs there. Target 1 traders for 42 ticks, target 2 for 65. And we get, let's see, target 2 was at 53, and we stopped out at 59. So an additional 6 over. So we get 65 and 71 for 136 for target 2, 42 and 71 for 113 for target 1 traders. So a one and done session on unleaded. And we'll look at the micro NQ. Oops. So 4 minutes after market open, Central Time being the, right in during open. Our start time is in that bar right there, so no trade there. That has already hit its money management level. So the stop is at break even, and even if you got back down to the entry, it would be stopped out. Looks like soybeans picked up target 2. Another 17 ticks. That's 28, 7 points so far, with 2 positions remaining, target 3 and trail. Trailing stop sitting at 1464 even at the moment. And a reversing trade filtered out due to the hybrid trend mode. The trend indicator is red, meaning it's down. And there is our first trade on the micro NQ. $63.75 for the entry, definitely in. And the YM picking up another target 1. After that meandered about for a while. 32 tick target. This one definitely should get you positive if the last one didn't. And the Russell with another short. Oh yeah, plenty of time to get in that. Another target 3 and target 4, and stopping out with just a couple of ticks. 94.6. Second win. And YM stopping out on its trailing stop. That will definitely be POQ on the YM. And this will be POQ and soybeans has stopped out as well at 1464 even. From the entry at 65.25. So that's another 10 ticks, 38 ticks. So that's 8 and 9 and 9.5 points. So about $475 on that trade, trading 4 positions. So the YM soybeans are both POQ. Pound Aussie is POQ. Unleaded was POQ. So crude is our only losers in the initial sessions this morning. Crude has a 10 o'clock session coming up in about 18 minutes. And micro NQ in its first trade and stopping out. So that's a full loss on the micro NQ. All right. So looking for another trade on the MNQ. That's one loss there so far. Good morning, Pamela, or good afternoon to you. That's what I say. You missed a lot of the action so far. The YM is POQ, soybeans is POQ, pound Aussie is POQ. All soybeans in the pound Aussie one and done. Unleaded gas one and done. The YM 2 or 3 trades to get positive. And a down session this morning on crude. All right, long trades on both the Russell and the micro NQ. And the Russell just hit money management. Oh yeah, 9 seconds on the first bar. That's definitely in. A 5, 6. Yep, we got to. Yeah, basically overall a nice start. The Russell looks like it stopped out on the break-even stop because we've hit our 14 tick minimum, so it will the close of this bar will plot the stop at 95.7, but that's where we should have stopped out with an intra-bar move. Now, the micro NQ, on the other hand, lots of time to get into that. It just hit money management, so break-even stop at 12.088 even, and we're approaching target 2. And getting really close to that target 2. 116 even. Target is at 1625. That's a situation where I would be thinking trade for profit. right. And yeah, Russell is still tracking because it did end up closing above that break-even stop. That's something you might test, is waiting for the bar to close before moving to the break-even. And taking another run at target 2 on the micro NQ. So 2 wins and a break even on the Russell. All right, and we did get target 2 on the micro NQ. So that is win number 1. That's a 28.5 point win. Yeah, and I saw. Well, actually, on micro crude, I actually ended up about break even because I had the same short, get in sync short on micro crude that I had on that situation on crude. So, but then I did get a yellow trade off of the 50 EMA that got me actually pretty close to positive. The way I traded it, it actually did get me positive because it was a stop and reverse. So I pushed to targets 2 and 3. And a short now on the Russell. Let's come back to 9 o'clock. Yeah, here's. So the initial trade was this short and got in sync right here. So then we get a stop and reverse to long at 28, which pushes money management from 36 to 38 and to targets 2 and 3. And you get a winner. Came close. It would be really close. I think you're actually going to be just slightly negative on the stop and reverse. But then the trailer would certainly have gotten you out of that one. But then you end up with a full stop out on this short. So probably a down day on MC micro crude if you took the get in sync short as well. Okay, I'm going to put you on the spot here, William. What are your rules for taking that? Yeah, no trailer. What are your rules for taking a get in sync or not? What are your trade plan rules for that? Yes, that's what I trade on. I typically trade T1 and T2, but T1 when you make it a stop and reverse was less than 10 ticks. So that's why I pushed to T2 and T3. Okay. If that's what you've tested with, that's great. And that's not a bad idea. I looked at that one when I did it and went, I don't particularly like that, but that's the trade plan. Yeah, my T1 on that on the setup was exactly 10 ticks. And then when I made the stop and reverse adjustment, it became 8. So that's why I pushed to 2 and 3 on that one. See, his entry was at 26 and money management was at 36 as well as target 1. So when I added the 2-tick stop and reverse adjustment, it made the target only 8 ticks and pushed my money management up to 38. So then targets become 2 and 3 for 43 and 50. So I would have gotten 15 and 22. Sorry. So 37 ticks. Basically, once you can put in a solid 2 contracts on crude, I would go ahead and do that. The only reason not to do that was if you're going to try to go 3 positions and run a trailer as well. But typically, I would say as soon as you can go two full contracts, switch over to the full crude. Because not so much commission, but the exchange fees are going to hit you pretty hard running micro crude if you try to run a bunch of contracts, because it is a bit more costly, for the same profit level. It's more costly to run the micro crude. Yeah. But running, if you can only do 1 contract, running 5, or if you're somewhere between 1 and 2 on the full contract, you can you can do 18 micro crudes versus 2, versus just a single contract. If you're not quite there, so you actually end up getting the better return, actual return, doing micro crude. But once you get to that second full crude, then I would definitely stay there. And we take a loss on the Russell, and then we pick up a long trade with lots of time to get in. We are at break even there, looking for target 3. See what we did on the micro NQ while we were talking about crude. Have a good one. Okay, that was our initial No, that was, so yeah, there's our start. First loss. Second, that trade I think was, yeah, okay, that was plenty of time to get in. And that's where we are, is in the second, in trade number 2. Targets 2 and 3 so far, and trailing at 114.25. And the Russell loss on trade number 4, and another win on trade number 5. Now, not yet. It's just at target 2, but it's got a small trailer running, so this will be a winning trade. 3 wins, 1 break even, 1 loss. All right, almost to our crude 8 a.m. mini set. Sorry, 10 a.m. mini session. Yeah. And let's see. Still no change in the MNQ. Targets 2 and 3 so far. 114.25 for the trailer. We did stop out for trade number 5 for a partial win. 99.4. So a very small win there. And trade number 6, short now on the M2K. This will be our last trade. And that trade on crude going too far, so it's no longer on the table for a get in sync. And MNQ takes a loss, takes 2 losses. The Russell is done, and that actually ends the MNQ session as well. Crude session just starting. Crude with a long trade at 83, it looks like. And triggering in. And a potential stop and reverse on crude. 62. And stopping and reversing too short. So crude is our last active chart this morning. See if we can get it done on the 10 o'clock session. And stopping and reversing back to long. Lots of time to get in that. I wasn't watching carefully enough. So that is a stop and reverse at 81. A pair of stop and reverses I usually won't stop. I'll go ahead and so that's at break even and stopping out 82. So that's the session. 3 trades. And that ends the day so far. Questions or comments? Crude being our problem child today, but most everything else was fairly solid. We got a bit of activity right at 10 o'clock. All right, quick session this morning. Because that was a stop and reverse. Our stop was at 82, so we are out of that crude trade. All right. You're quite welcome, Pamela. Everybody have a great weekend. And I will call this one a day. So that will good luck in your trading tomorrow and have a great weekend. And we'll see everybody next Tuesday. Heading toward Christmas.